yarn lovers, it's Gary and I'm coming to you from my happy place, the Yarn Corner, here on Vancouver Island in Canada. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Friday, October the 29th, 2021, and this is video number 127. As you can tell by the title down below, I'm super stoked and excited to be hosting my first ever make-along. Now, it will be in knit and crochet for the month of November 2021, so I hope everyone will join in. It's open worldwide, it's all inclusive. And I have the knit pattern covered. It's a free one that I wrote up and it's out there. I'll link it down below. It's a PDF that will give you all the instructions. It's called the Bush Trucker Beanie. So you'll have to knit up a Bush Trucker Beanie to enter yourselves into this make along. And for crocheters, I reached out to our good friend here, the one and only Crystal over at Bag a Day, and she has graciously said she would be happy for me to include one of her patterns in this make along. And her pattern tutorial is the crocheted version of the Bush Trucker Beanie. So she was inspired by the herringbone stitch and creating something that looked something similar to the Bush Trucker Beanie, but in crochet. So Crystal is not responsible and she's not affiliated with this make along. But she has graciously allowed me to direct people to her tutorial. Now, I'll link her tutorial down below, but also if you're interested in just running along with a pattern, she has that as well on her Etsy store. It's a paid for pattern, so I'll link that as well. So thank you, Crystal, for allowing us to use those ingredients here in this make along. So what else can I tell you? It starts November the 1st, 2021, and will conclude November 30th, 2021. I would love to have a week of compiling all the entry photos into a presentation slide video and present it here on Urban Yarn. If you have any questions as well about all the guidelines that I'm presenting here today in the video for the make-along, please direct them to me. My email address is urbanyarn101@gmail.com. And what I'm asking for the entries is that you take a photograph of your knitted Bush Trucker Beanie or the crocheted version of the beanie from Crystal over at Bag a Day, and you submit it to me via email. So email it to, again, urbanyarn101@gmail.com. And in that email, I'd love to know a few things as well. It's not difficult. There are 3 things that I want you to include. One will be if you want to be included in the slide presentation that I'm going to be posting and publishing on YouTube. And if you don't mention that you are interested in that or not, then I will assume that you are wanting to abstain from that. So I won't add your entry into the slide presentation, but I will add your entry into what I'm going to be doing next in this part of the make along. I'd love to know also in the email what yarn you used, because people might have questions, and I'd love to share the style of yarn that you chose for your beanies, and also what name you would like me to use to tag the image in the slide presentation as well, whether you'd like to use your first name only, whether you would like to be called a pseudonym that you use or a nickname that you use here on social media. So those 3 things I'd love you to add into your email. With that, I'm going to show you a little bit of some samples that I've got of the knitted version of the Bush Trucker Beanie. I have made Crystal's beanie as well in crochet, but I have gifted all of the samples that I've made, or all of the makes that I made from that tutorial. So I will be making some of the crocheted version in the month of November as well. So you'll see some of my samples during my video presentations that I have and my podcast in the month of November. So here's the Bush Trucker Beanie here, one that I recently just did with hand-dyed yarn, and I held 2 worsted weights together to get my bulky 5. It is a bulky 5 pattern, and I melded them together, and one was a purple color and one was a kind of like a salmon coral. Really, really lovely. It uses the herringbone stitch here in the band here and 1x1 ribbing. And there we go. This one here is Lion Brand's watercolor collection and in the colorway Quarry, and it's another version. And one here as well, which is hand dyed that I did in the kitchen. I cooked up this orange color with speckles. Now, a little bit about the Bush Trucker Beanie is I have provided 3 sizes in adults, so small, medium, and large. And these are great makes as well for if you're looking for holiday gifts coming up. And yeah, I have gifted many of them out, and it's an appropriate season here in the Northern Hemisphere that they'll be worn over the winter period. They're very, very nice and snuggly and warm. And a little bit of a thank you that I want to let everyone know for ahead of the game. When I get everyone's entries in, I'm going to be cutting out all the names, putting them in a bowl, and selecting one gift recipient for participating. Now, in this gift, it's not a huge gift, but it's something that's very close to what I've created over an experience with dyeing yarn. And I'm adding in 2 hanks here of, it's a 3-weight yarn from Knit Picks, and it's the Hawthorn series that was bare yarn, and I've dyed it in the colorway called Faded Forest. Now, I absolutely love these. They've been sitting in my stash for about a year now, because back in 2020 I dyed this, and I have one hank left that I'm going to keep because these are one of a kind. I didn't record how I made this, but I'm giving enough yardage here for a decent sized project. And let me tell you a little bit about the Hawthorn series in the DK weight, which is a 3-weight. You get 100 grams in each hank, 225 yards, and it is 80% fine superwash Highland wool and 20% polyamide. It is machine washable in cold water, and you can tumble dry this on low. I would probably hand wash it. With all of my yarn, I always suggest that the first wash is hand wash and separate, just in case anything comes out of the dyed job of the yarn. And yeah, and then subsequent washes can either be in amongst other garments as well, and maybe in the machine. But because I spend so much time making up my garments, I always hand wash regardless of any of the washing instructions, except if they're blankets. They're, you know, it's hard to actually hand wash blankets, but anything small like a garment that's wearable or an accessory, I always hand wash those. But love these colors. And because we're coming up to the holiday season, I'm into amigurumi right now. I don't know what's going on. So up here on this blanket, I've made 3 amigurumis that have yet to be added their parts. So whether they're going to be animals or creatures, or if they're going to be, I don't know, people or whatever, I'm going to add one of these in. So it's a little bit of a mystery of what you'll get. And you might see it in the month of November when I start to finish them up and create them. You might see what they end up with. So I'm going to elect one of these to throw into this gift for the recipient to say thank you for participating. Now, how I'm going to draw it is that I'm going to cut out each person's name, that forward their entry through to my email account, and I'll put them in a large bowl. I'll get my husband, Chad, to pick the winner out, or the recipient who's going to get these gifts, and it's open worldwide. So yeah, I will reach out to the person who is the person who sent me that winning entry, and we can exchange information, and I will forward these gifts over to you. Wherever it is. I won't be responsible for any of the duties and taxes that incur entering your country so that you can get this parcel, but I will ship it at my cost to you. So yeah, with that, I think that is all that I need to say. And if you have any questions, please do email me. That's the quickest response that I can make. The comments down below in this video, occasionally I don't get to as quickly as the email. So if you do have any timely questions that you have and you're worried that you might not get them answered in time, email those to me. That would be great. So the email address again is urbanyarn101@gmail.com, and I look forward to seeing all of the fantastic makes in the bush tracker knit pattern and also the crocheted version from Bag O' Day. So with that, I will say goodbye and yay! Good luck, everyone.